Hey, good morning, y'all. It's September 22nd. It is about 11:15 in the morning, and I've been up and awake since about 6. And yeah, still coffee in it. Anyway, I went to visit Mama yesterday, and I had a pretty decent visit with the cousins that I really wasn't excited about going all the way up there, but we took a nice ride, and it was pretty decent outside, so there's plus. Anywho, we had steak dinner. I bought steaks, whatnot, and came home. This morning I've literally been doom scrolling for 4 hours. As you can tell, I'm still in my dollar store Christmas pajamas. And I absolutely love these things. If they would come out with a Halloween version, I'd probably buy 5 pairs, 7 pairs. And they would be my yeah. You I'd wear them every day. Anyway, so I was doom scrolling around, and I found a video that I was like, holy crap. And it was posted about 11 days ago. And it was talking about basically giving the heads up where the hell Richard Simmons has been. Well, he went off grid for a few years. A lot of speculations as to what happened to him, and basically he probably went on a reclusive retirement. And under the psychological elements of this video that I just watched, he was a very bubbly individual. I grew up with this man in my life, like dancing with the exercising or dancing with the oldies, and that kind of thing. He was always a huge influence on diet and exercise. Huge. Which brings me to this point. In this video that I've got linked below, the guy is talking about the autopsy report and what they had discovered in this man who was 76 years old. Huge proponent of fitness, huge influencer across the board, funny, comedian, just overall good individual, especially in the celebrity aspect of things. He was like Hollywood's darling. Everybody loved him because he was just always happy, always happy, always inspirational, always, active. You can do it. Positivity, like exuding from this man. And so, to make a long story short, if you want to see the details of his life, it's only had about 100 and something thousand views, which means, the guy whose channel, he's only got 100 and something thousand, subscribers. So this was put out 11 days ago, and I just recently found it. So if you're wondering what happened to Richard Simmons, this guy has the autopsy report, and he reads through it. So here's where I kind of got. He had atherosclerosis. Now, whether or not, I didn't watch the whole video, but there could have been a chance that, his blood pressure or he probably had, a little bit of, angina or something that, caused the fall, in that generic capacity. But what it was, he was discovered dead. Probably passed away on the 12th. He fell on the 11th, discovered on the 12th, and then they did like a checkup on him on 13th, and he was, found dead. And when they did the autopsy report, they, basically did a full autopsy report, the toxicology and everything. And yeah, nobody's immortal. And the secrets to longevity are still a mystery. Most of us start looking well into middle age for a solution to all of the abuse that we did to ourselves up until that point, and now we're trying to figure out a way to fix it. After watching that, him discuss that autopsy report and realizing that there was no perfect solution, especially during the time frame in which he had been an active voice in the dietary and health community. He had that deal a meal thing. And I'm pretty sure he had a pretty good beat on things in regards to trying to help people lose weight, because he had been at one point very obese. And at the same time, this, content creator had mentioned that he had also suffered to the abuse of being bullied because of his weight. And of course, as evolution in society become a little bit more mature and accepting of other alternative lifestyles, he also grew up in a proponent of society where his sexuality was not, widely accepted. Most people just turned a blind eye to it. We all knew. But he was just such a good guy that nobody gave a shit. But it just goes to show that you can work yourself to death, and you can be as healthy and do the things that you think are as healthy as they possibly could be, and still end up with a medical condition because the research had not caught up yet. So at that time, he was probably doing everything by the book, according to the American Medical Association and the American Heart Association and the FDA and the CDC and all the, the shit, all the alphabet soup friggin' organizations that the government floods money into. Yet, as a society, as a whole, you still got hundreds of thousands of medical practitioners still in the dark, just probably with oodles of debt, and they're afraid to speak up, because if they have no means of being able to pay that debt, they're afraid of losing their entire livelihood. Whereas you have oodles of them who are stepping up, speaking out, and being a voice against the standard American diet and this, the trend that was, everybody was like, lower your fat, but increase your exercise, and everybody just kept getting fatter. Go into a caloric deficit, but now you're ending up with heart disease. How the fuck does this happen? Lower your cholesterol, but you end up dying of a heart attack. See where I'm going with this? It's a contradiction. It's a conundrum. So my heart goes out to the family of, Richard Simmons, and, all that he did to influence the world and trying to become physically active and stay healthy. He lived to a glorious age of 76 years old. And yeah, now the mystery is solved. Because I was wondering, someone had mentioned, where the hell has this man been? Yeah, he just took a reclusive retirement. He got out of the public eye. Probably because he was, not feeling well. He had quite a bit of blockages going on in his cardiovascular system. I remember when my father started having issues with blockages. He was tired a lot. You know, chain of events, the standard American diet, I'm telling you, is going to kill you. You cannot exercise that diet away. You cannot. So, may he rest in peace. And if you really want to know the nitty-gritty details, they're down below in the show notes. So, everybody have a great Sunday. I'm hoping to get my ass moving here in a minute. I got to get some real clothes on, get outside, and try to clean up this yard a little bit. Take a gander at my my loofah squash. I got about 6 of them. They're maybe about that long, and they're still only about as big around as my thumb. But hey, they finally flowered. Finally, it's now late September. I don't know how much more they're going to grow, and I'm hoping I get a couple of, you know, sponges out of these. Because that was the purpose that I put them in the ground. But with as much vining that I have, I should literally be, like, inundated with loofahs. I only got about 6 or 7 up there, so it's kind of disappointing. But hey, you know, it wasn't a complete failure. So, if you're wondering about what happened to Richard Simmons, check the video out below. Peace out, y'all.